Welcome back to CBS Sports HQ, presented by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Jacqueline, bowl season is underway.
Let's go.
We get weekday bowl action in Frisco, Texas. We get the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl this week. Then we get 2 games on Wednesday, the Boca Bowl and the Art of Sport LA Bowl. And then Thursday, it's the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Exciting times. And our man, Tom Fornelli, and his crew from the Cover 3 podcast are all over these bowl games. Tom's here to give us some picks for these games because they're a challenge to pick. I mean, we've got players opting out. We've got players entering the portal. The lines perhaps reflecting that, so we need Tom's expertise here. Tom, let's start with that Frisco Bowl in Frisco, Texas. Number 25, Memphis, taking on West Virginia. Tigers favored by 5 points here, the total at 59. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, as you just touched on, like when it comes to these bowl games, these midweek games that maybe don't have playoff implications, there's a lot of vibes that you have to go off of, and you also have to look at the depth chart to see how many players have been in the transfer portal, because a lot of this is simply about motivation to want to play in the game and be there. When I look at these two teams right now, I look at a West Virginia team that's undergoing a coaching change. They might be excited about Rich Rod taking over and returning next year, but he's not coaching them in this game. And while they don't have a lot of transfers in the portal right now, they do have a lot of guys who have NFL futures who may be having their eyes set on that NFL future, even if they play in this game. So I'm leaning with Memphis, which is going to be mostly full strength, if not as close to full strength as it possible. Quarterback Seth Hennigan will be playing in the game for the Tigers. Running back Mario Anderson is somewhat up in the air, but right now implications are he is expected to play. So I think when you look at these two rosters going into the game, I think Memphis is the better team. So I'm going to lay the points with the Tigers here.
All right, Wednesday we get 2 games. Let's start with the Boca Bowl between Western Kentucky and James Madison at FAU Stadium. The Dukes favored by 6.5 here, the total at 52. What's your play?
Yeah, this is a really odd situation because Western Kentucky has a lot of players in the portal, but most of them are expected to play, including quarterback Caden Veltkamp, who has been their starter all season long. So you kind of have to approach this a little differently. They will have most of their key guys in there. It's just I don't like Western Kentucky in this matchup. I think James Madison is a better team. I think they are also very much at full strength. I look at the way that they have played all season long and how Western Kentucky, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, has left a little bit to be desired. I think the Dukes are probably going to be able to score about 30 points in this game, and that'll be enough. So I am laying the points with James Madison.
I'm going to see the total. They're sitting at 52. All right, the second game, Wednesday night at SoFi. This one's a good one. Cal versus 24 UNLV. This game is essentially a pick-em right now with that total under 50. So give us your thinking in this one, Tom.
Yeah, you know, it's a fast track there in SoFi Stadium, Jeremy. Whether it's an NFL game or a college game, you typically see a lot of big plays in that place, and I'm going to go with the over. I think the total is a little bit too low. I know that Cal will be without its starting quarterback, Francisco Mendoza, who has entered the transfer portal, but this UNLV defense, I think, was very good against the run, but it has some problems stopping the pass. That is something I think Cal can take advantage of. I also think this UNLV offense, their coach, Barry Odom, has left for Purdue. Dan Mullen will be the coach there next year, but offensive coordinator Brennan Marion, who is at the heart of their go-go offense, will still be at this game calling plays. Haj Malik Williams is an excellent playmaker. I think the running Rebels will be able to move the ball quite a bit successfully against this spot. And while it's got nothing to do with this actual game itself, I will say that since 2014, in bowl games where their total is at 49 points or lower, the over's 52 and 34. So these games tend to be higher scoring than we expect. So I'm going to go with the over.
And as you mentioned, bit of a track meet there at SoFi. So let's hope for a good one there as we like to go over. Lastly, we got the New Orleans Bowl at the Caesars Superdome. Georgia Southern currently 6-point favorites versus Sam Houston. Give us the play here, Tom.
Yes, Sam Houston's head coach, K.C. Keeler, has left to take the head coaching job at Temple, which I think is a big, deal for this game, for this matchup. Not as big, perhaps, as the fact that 8 starters for the Bearcats are also in the transfer portal, though some are expected to play. 6 of those starters are on defense, and what concerns me about that for Sam Houston is if you watch the Bearcats this year, They weren't an offensive football team. They were trying to win games 14-10. So with so many of their starters in the portal and maybe not fully bought in for this one, it's really hard to put a lot of faith in the Bearcats. I look at this Georgia Southern team, which is expected to be at full strength. They don't have many players in the portal right now. I like Southern to win this one and cover. I think that they'll probably score too many points for Sam Houston to keep up, to be honest.
Absolutely love that we get bowl season underway in our Cover 3 podcast. Go Tom Fornelli making bowl picks for us here on HQ. Good to see you, Tom. Thanks for hopping on. And, of course, the Cover 3 podcast. They've got new pods coming this week as we get into bowl season and the college football playoff coming up this Friday. They do a locks pod every Thursday, which is certainly something you want to listen to if you're interested in making these bowl picks. Download and follow the Cover 3 wherever you get your pods or scan that QR code. Get that latest episode right now.